Hello, everyone. Welcome to our E for B show. Today, we're going to talk about something that pretty much everyone learning English has thought about.
So, what's your English level? Have you ever wondered what it really means to be fluent? Well, today we're going to break it all down. Think of it like a GPS for your language journey, a way to see exactly where you are and the best way to get where you want to go. I mean, how do you even measure something like English skills? It's a really good question, right? It's not like measuring your height or something. It's way more abstract than that. And that's exactly why any English level is really just an approximation. Some language experts argue that these tests can't capture the whole picture, and they've got a point. But having a standard framework is still incredibly helpful. It gives us clear goals to shoot for on our learning journey.
And that framework is the CEFR. That's a mouthful, I know. It stands for the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. It was actually put together by the Council of Europe way back in the 70s to create one single standard for language ability. Now it's used all over the world. What's really great about the CEFR system is how simple it is. It breaks the whole thing down into three main groups, or bands. A is for the basic user, B is for the independent user, and C is for the proficient user. Then, each of those is split in two, creating this really clear six-step ladder to fluency. Okay, so let's start at the beginning with Band A, the basic user. This is that really exciting part where the language starts to click, and you go from just knowing words to having real, actual conversations.
So at A1, you're officially a beginner. But hey, you're already communicating. You can use simple daily expressions, you can introduce yourself, and you can handle basic questions like, where you live or who you know. You're in the game.
To hit this first big milestone, it's estimated to take about 100 hours of dedicated study. Just think of it as your first 100 hours of exploring a whole new world.
All right, building on that, we get to A2, or elementary. At this point, you can handle simple stuff, routine things like going shopping or asking for directions. You're not just surviving in English anymore, you're actually starting to get around pretty well. And by the time you finish the A2 level, you've probably put in around 200 hours total. That's a huge step. It means you're leaving the basic stage behind and heading towards real independence. Now, this is where things get really interesting. Band B, the independent user. This is where you go from just getting by to actually living in the language. You can handle most situations, and your confidence just skyrockets. At B1, intermediate, you've hit a massive turning point. This is the level where you could confidently travel all by yourself in an English-speaking country. You can talk about your experiences, explain your plans, and, just as important, you know how to ask for help when you don't know something. Reaching this level of independence usually takes somewhere around 350 to 400 total hours of study. This is often where people feel the language truly click. It's an amazing feeling. From there, you climb up to B2, or upper intermediate. Now you're not just talking, you're debating. You can get the main ideas of complex stuff, chat spontaneously with native speakers, and really hold your own in a discussion. Honestly, for most people, B2 is a fantastic goal. It's where you feel comfortably, functionally fluent. Now, getting to that comfortable B2 level takes a serious commitment. We're talking around 500 to 600 hours of learning. But the payoff? It's huge. It opens up so many doors for you professionally and personally. And finally, we get to the top. Band C, the proficient user. This isn't just about being fluent anymore. This is about mastery. It's for people who need that deep, detailed command of the language for high-level work or academics. C1 is the advanced level. At this point, you're using English for pretty much any professional or academic reason you can think of. You understand really tough texts, you can pick up on hidden meanings, and you express yourself with the kind of precision that, honestly, many native speakers would be jealous of. And at the very, very top of the ladder, we have C2, proficient. This is it, the peak. You can understand basically everything you hear or read. You can pull information together from all kinds of places and express yourself with a level of detail and nuance that's, well, it's pretty much indistinguishable from a highly educated native speaker.
So to reach these top levels of mastery, C1 or C2, you're looking at a serious time investment, somewhere between 1,000 to 1,200 hours of consistent, deep study. This is the path to becoming a true expert.
All those hours can sound a little overwhelming, right? But check this out. This chart puts it all into perspective. If you study just 20 minutes a day, you can reach A1 in about 10 months. But look what happens if you double that to 40 minutes a day. You cut the time in half. You could get to an advanced level in just over 2 years and reach that mastery level in under 5. It just goes to show you, consistency really is everything.
And that brings us to a really important point, the method. The old way of doing things was to learn all the grammar rules for years before you even tried to speak. The new way, which is way more effective, is to start using English from day one so you can learn it. You really do learn by doing. And I love this thought. It's so important to remember that progress isn't just about reaching the end. Each new level you get to brings this new sense of happiness and opens up a whole new world of possibilities. The reward isn't waiting at the finish line. It's there with every single step you take. In the description of this video, we will leave a link to the CEFR page where you can find more information and schedule an exam to measure your English fluency. Thank you for joining us this far, and until our next episode, bye.